Project MKUltra, a CIA mind control program conducted between the years 1953 and 1973. The CIA project engaged in many illegal activities. For one, it used US and Canadian citizens as test subjects. MKUltra used numerous methodologies to manipulate people's mental states and alter brain functions, including the surreptitious administration of drugs, especially LSD and other chemicals, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse, as well as various forms of torture. But what was their purpose? Their purpose was to study mind control, interrogation, and behavior modification. Let's look more into the CIA project, MKUltra. The MKUltra project was started on the order of CIA Director Alan Welsh Dulles on April 13, 1953.
Intelligence is nothing really other than information and knowledge. For the days of Socrates, by various methods, and even before that, mankind has been seeking knowledge of everything that influences his own life or the life of the nation to which he belongs.
Initially, its main purpose was to develop mind-controlling drugs, which would be used against the Soviets, largely in response to alleged Soviet, Chinese, and North Korean use of mind control techniques on US prisoners of war in Korea. Usually, these experiments were conducted without the subject's knowledge or consent. Could the CIA have used the techniques they've learned in Project MKUltra on Americans? Here we have a video from the 60s. It's a video of the national anthem and was shown on national television networks. There's nothing strange about it, right? Let's start it from the beginning and slow it down. Notice, as the text for the next verse in the anthem is shown, different words appear. Let's see it again. It's hard to notice these statements when watching it at a normal speed. What the MKUltra project found was that our minds are extremely powerful. By quickly flashing these statements, subliminally our minds absorb it. Eventually, our minds are programmed to believe what the statements are saying is in fact true. The whole video is riddled with statements. To save time, we'll list them all here. There is speculation as to whether the video was doctored. To this day, no one has yet come forward to claim they created the video. Additionally, no one has been able to disprove its authenticity.
Senator, this way. This way. No, this way. No, Rosie, no. Stay back, please. Please, everybody up.
On June 5, 1968, Robert F. Kennedy was shot in the head and killed by Sirhan Sirhan. Sirhan pleaded not guilty at the time of his trial, and was sentenced to life in prison. He has been repeatedly denied parole because he has not shown any remorse for his actions. To this day, he has no recollection of the day, and does not believe he committed the act. Witnesses say that they saw Sirhan, and prior to the assassination, he was standing alone, staring, with glassy eyes. Sirhan doesn't believe that he was in the right mind frame when he assassinated Robert F. Kennedy. Psychiatrists analyzed Sirhan after the murder, and concluded that Sirhan was suffering from diminished capacity at the time of the murder. After further analysis, it was also believed that Sirhan may have been hypnotized at the time of the murder.
I started searching for coffee. That was all what I wanted to do. And I found some.
In the kitchen area?
But where, I don't remember, sir.
In a kitchen-type room?
I don't remember where I saw it, but I remember getting the cup. It was a shining...
Larger?
Urn. And there was a girl there. No, I don't remember much what happened after that.
You don't remember?
I don't remember.
Do you remember anything?
Other than the choking and the commotion. I don't remember that.
On May 18th of last year, you were sitting and writing in your room.
They are the writings of a maniac, sir.
They're the writings of Sirhan Sirhan.
Yes, sir, but they're not the writings of me now, sir.
From Sirhan's writings, we can see what looks like automatic writings. Automatic writings in the sense of a hypnotic state. As if he was brainwashed to believe that he must assassinate Robert Kennedy. Much like the shooter at the Navy Yard in Washington, D.C. back in September 2013. Prior to his rampage at the Navy Yard, Aaron Alexis told Rhode Island police that he was hearing voices. He told them, 3 people, to follow him and keep him awake by talking to him and sending vibrations into his body. He also said, using some sort of microwave machine to send vibrations, penetrating his body. He did not have any prior history of any mental illnesses. Could he have been telling the truth? On his shotgun, he etched several phrases. Better off this way. Not what you'll say. End to the torment. And my elf weapon. The elf weapon phrase is interesting, because he stated to police that he was hearing voices in his head. With the LF extremely low frequencies, these sorts of things are possible. Sounds or voices can be beamed from miles away, which to the victim would seem as if it is in their head. Is it possible that he was brainwashed with the LF to perform what he did on that day? MKUltra's tactics during the 50s and 60s may have been experimented using LSD for mind control. While now, many years later, ELF can be used to achieve the same results. This is a whole other conversation which requires much more time to talk about. Coming back to Sirhan's story. In his interview there was a quick cut, as if some parts of his interview were removed. What could have been said?
And there was a girl there. There was a girl there. No, I don't remember much what happened after that.
He says, there was a girl there. But there is something in particular about this girl that Sirhan and other witnesses saw. This woman, later believed to be Sirhan's controller, possibly working for the CIA, put him into a trance-like state just before the shooting. Supposedly, Sirhan may have never even shot the gun, but rather another assassin did. Extensive interviews were conducted with Sirhan, while under hypnosis, and without hypnosis. The findings were amazing. There was a mysterious girl in a polka dot dress. She was the controller who led Sirhan to fire a gun in the pantry of the Ambassador Hotel. The documents from the interviews suggest a second person shot and killed Kennedy while using Sirhan as a diversion. For the first time, Sirhan said under hypnosis that on a cue from the girl he went into range mode, believing he was at a firing range and seeing circles with targets in front of his eyes. I thought that I was at the range more than I was actually shooting at any person, let alone Bobby Kennedy. Witnesses talked of seeing a female with a polka dot dress, running from the hotel shouting, "We shot Kennedy."
The girl wearing a polka dot dress came running by them shouting, "We shot him, we shot him, we killed him." And the older woman asked, "Who did you shoot?" And the young woman said, "Kennedy, we shot him, we killed him." And then the two of them ran off just real happy, real joyful.
Sirhan maintained in the hypnotic interviews that the mystery girl touched him or pinched him on the shoulder just before he fired, then spun him around to see people coming through the pantry door. Then I was on the target range. A flashback to the shooting range. I didn't know that I had a gun. Sirhan's lawyer said he is convinced that Sirhan was a victim of a mind control project such as those used by the CIA in the 1960s. That is just one example of MKUltra, but has there been any proof of MKUltra existing today? The entertainment and music industry displays many examples of mind control. MKUltra and mind control is alive and well today in the entertainment business. People are afraid or programmed to not speak about it.
You know, and it's a big culture of mind control too. MKUltra mind control rules in Hollywood. If you don't know, Google that and look into it.
The mind controllers have total control of their victims. When the controllers feel that the people they are controlling are no longer useful in making them more money, they make them do odd and strange things in the public eye. They ruin their lives, and people just think that drugs are the cause. Here we see Al Roker having an on-screen mind glitch. Could a certain keyword have been triggered, which caused the glitch?
Like they say in Catholic school, leave room for the Holy Ghost. Anyway, there...
It seems really creepy that Al Roker would just do this as a joke of some sorts. It looks much more serious. His face did not change at all after the woman said, "Leave room for the Holy Ghost." Could the term Holy Ghost have been a keyword programmed in his mind to put him in a hypnotic state? MKUltra was officially concluded in the 70s, however, unofficially, it is still being conducted today. There are so many examples of the proof. As mentioned before, celebrities are one of the main targets. Their handlers brainwash their minds at an early age, program them to make them millions of dollars, and when they are no longer needed, they are programmed to do outrageous things in the public eye, to make them seem crazy and on drugs. Additionally, MKUltra can be used as a weapon to create a silent, patsy killer, as we've seen with Sirhan. Who knows how many other assassinations were conducted in this same manner. That concludes this video on MKUltra.